Welcome to Sleepy Story, where the whispers of history guide you into a world of calm and wonder. As the day fades and the night settles in, let our tales carry you to ancient times, where the lives of merchants, artisans, and dreamers unfold. Each story is a gentle journey, woven with the threads of culture, community, and resilience, designed to soothe your mind and spark a quiet curiosity about the past. Tonight, we invite you to rest, to listen, and to let the rhythm of history lull you into peace. At Sleepy Story, we believe that the past is a tapestry of lives and lessons, each one a gift to help you unwind. Whether it's the bustling markets of Rome, the sacred rivers of distant lands, or the quiet villages of forgotten eras, our stories bring history to life in a way that comforts and inspires. As you settle into this tale, imagine yourself walking alongside those who shaped the world, their voices echoing through time. The story you're about to hear is a bridge to the past, a moment to reflect on the strength and wisdom of those who came before us. As you listen, feel the gentle pulse of history, like a river flowing through time, carrying you toward a peaceful night. Thank you for joining us on Sleepy Story, where every tale is an invitation to dream, to learn, and to find calm in the stories of the past. Now, let us begin tonight's journey, a tale of lives long ago, ready to unfold in the quiet of the night. Imagine a city where the heart of Rome beats with the warmth of a sacred fire, a flame that guards the Republic's spirit. Livia, a 28-year-old Vestal virgin, lives in the Temple of Vesta in Rome, 200 BCE. The Romans revere their Vestals, women chosen to maintain the eternal flame and perform rituals that protect the city. Each morning, Livia rises to the soft crackle of the fire, her hands steady as she tends its embers. She dreams of fulfilling her sacred duty, honoring the gods and ensuring Rome's prosperity. The Romans believe the Temple of Vesta is the soul of their republic, its flame a symbol of their enduring strength. Livia walks through the temple's quiet halls, checking the fire's fuel and preparing offerings. Her steps are deliberate, her heart tied to the rituals that bind Rome to its gods. Her mentor, an elder Vestal named Marcia, shares tales of the temple's history, filling Livia's heart with pride. The Romans' religion is a cycle, and Livia feels its rhythm, knowing her work safeguards the city. Livia's favorite moments are the mornings when she tends the flame, ensuring it burns brightly. The Romans rely on the Vestals to maintain this sacred fire, a duty that connects them to the divine. Livia adds wood to the hearth, learning the balance needed to keep the flame steady. Marcia explains that this task is more than a ritual. It is a way to serve Rome, to strengthen its people. Livia feels a spark of purpose, knowing her care protects the Republic. She sweeps the temple floor, her movements a quiet prayer to Vesta. The temple is a place of learning, where Livia discovers the stories behind the rituals. A younger Vestal named Amelia tells her of the prayers that accompany their work, while another speaks of the offerings made to the gods. Livia learns that Rome's religion is a tapestry of many hands, each Vestal contributing to its strength. Marcia teaches her to prepare sacred cakes, mola salsa, for offerings, blending grain and salt with care. The Romans believe that every ritual strengthens the city, ensuring its harmony with the divine. Livia takes these lessons to heart, understanding her role in Rome's spiritual life. Marcia speaks of a festival tomorrow, dedicated to Vesta, where the Romans will gather to honor the goddess of the hearth. The Vestals will lead the rituals, offering prayers for the city's safety. Livia has participated in such festivals before, but this one feels special, tied to her growing responsibility. Marcia explains that the festival unites the community, ensuring the gods' favor. Livia imagines the chants she will lead, the offerings she will present, and the faces of her people gathered together. She feels a sense of anticipation, knowing this moment will deepen her bond with Rome. The Romans' connection to their gods is profound, rooted in centuries of rituals and reverence. They mark their days by the ceremonies they perform, offering grain in spring and prayers in autumn. They use every ritual with care, honoring the divine forces that protect them. Livia helps Emilia prepare mola salsa. Learning the ingredients that honor Vesta, she carries water from a sacred spring, feeling the weight of her duty. The Romans teach their Vestals to respect the temple, to see it as a living heart of the Republic. Livia's dreams are filled with the flamet's steady glow, its warmth, its promise of protection. She envisions a Rome blessed by Vesta, its people safe under the gods' care. Tomorrow's festival feels like a step toward that dream, a chance to pray with her people. As she prepares, she helps Marcia arrange the temple's altar, learning the importance of each offering. Emilia checks the fire's wood, ensuring it is ready for the festival. The Vestals work together, their actions a quiet prayer to the goddess and the city. The Romans' traditions are a living thread, connecting the past to the present. Livia learns the names of the rituals. She performs prayers for Vesta, offerings for Jupiter, chants for Juno. She learns the prayers that accompany her work, each one a gesture to the divine. The Romans believe that every effort, from tending the flame to offering cakes, honors the Republic. Livia feels a deep connection to her people and their temple, knowing the festival will be a moment of renewal. As the night deepens, she rests, her dreams filled with the promise of tomorrow, ready to join her community in worship. Inside the temple of Vesta, Livia sits with Marcia, preparing mola salsa for the festival. Her fingers move carefully, grinding grain and mixing salt, each step a ritual of devotion. Emilia tends the sacred fire, her hands steady as she adds wood to keep it burning. Marcia shares tales of past Vestals, women who guarded Rome's flame through centuries. Livia dreams of mastering her duties, ensuring the temple's rituals strengthen the Republic. Every morning, Livia performs her tasks, sweeping the temple and preparing offerings. She learns to check the fire's strength, to offer prayers, and to maintain the temple's purity. The Romans rely on their Vestals to protect the city's spiritual heart, a duty that binds them to the gods. Marcia teaches her the value of each ritual, explaining how the flame's glow reflects Rome's prosperity. Livia's role is vital, a thread in the fabric of Rome's religion. She feels proud, knowing her work safeguards the city. The Romans live with purpose, their lives shaped by a deep respect for their gods and traditions. Livia learns this through her tasks tending the flame, preparing offerings, and helping Emilia clean the altar. Marcia shares stories of Vestals who faced challenges, like storms that threatened the fire, yet persevered through faith. These stories are lessons about resilience, duty, and devotion to Rome. Livia feels a sense of responsibility, knowing her work supports not only the temple, but the Republic's future. Tonight, Marcia speaks of the Festival of Vesta, a time to honor the goddess and seek her blessing for the city. The Vestals will lead the rituals, offering mola, salsa, and chanting prayers. Livia imagines the festival, the chants, and the shared devotion that will unite the Romans. She has joined such rituals before, but each one strengthens her connection to her people. Marcia explains that the festival renews the Romans' bond with Vesta and each other, ensuring their prosperity. Livia lies in bed, her mind filled with the temple and the festival's promise. She thinks of the flame she tends, its glow a link to Rome's future. She thinks of the Vestals, the rituals, and the prayers that bind her community together. The Romans' way of life is a cycle, like the seasons, and Livia feels woven into it. She closes her eyes, ready for the festival where she will share in her people's traditions, her heart steady with purpose. The temple is a place of learning, where every task carries meaning. Livia watches Amelia prepare incense, learning its use in offerings. She learns that each ritual tells a story, each effort a piece of Rome's history. Marcia shows her how to record the temple's offerings, using tallies to track their gifts. Livia feels a deep connection to her fellow Vestals, knowing their work is part of a larger whole, a way of life that honors the past and builds the future. As she rests, she dreams of the festival, ready to embrace the rituals and prayers that await her. At dawn, Livia and the Vestals walk to the temple's atrium, their footsteps soft on the stone floor. The Romans hold the Temple of Vesta as a sacred place, where the eternal flame burns for the goddess who protects their city. Today, they gather for the festival of Vesta, giving thanks for her guardianship and praying for Rome's safety. Livia carries a tray of mola salsa as an offering, feeling the significance of the moment. She walks beside Marcia, who hums a quiet prayer, her voice blending with the morning's stillness. Livia feels a spark of anticipation, knowing this festival will renew her bond with her people and their gods. As they reach the atrium, Livia sees Romans, gathered priests, citizens, and magistrates, their faces reflecting reverence and unity. Men and women stand together, their presence a testament to their shared devotion. A priest begins the festival, offering mola salsa to Vesta and sprinkling water from a sacred spring. The Romans join in chant, their voices rising in a melody that speaks of thanks for the flame, the city, and the Republic's strength. Livia listens, her heart swelling with pride and wonder. The chants tell of Vesta's protection, of the cycles of fire and faith, and of Rome's connection to the divine. Marcia explains that the festival is more than a ceremony. It is a way to strengthen the Romans' bond with Vesta and each other. The priest leads the people in rituals, offering mola salsa to the four directions: east for dawn, south for warmth, west for rest, and north for strength. The Romans chant prayers for prosperity, safety, and harmony, their voices weaving together like the flame's glow. Livia joins the circle, holding a handful of mola salsa, and offers it to the altar as a gesture of gratitude. Marcia guides her, teaching her the words of a prayer. May the flame burn brightly. May the city endure. May our hearts walk in harmony. Livia repeats the words, feeling their meaning deep within her. The prayer is a promise to honor Vesta and the Republic, to serve with care. The festival is a tapestry of rituals, each one a thread in Rome's story. The people share food, bread, olives, and wine-passing baskets from hand to hand, a symbol of their unity. Livia tastes the bread, its flavor rich and comforting, a reminder of the goddess's gifts. The festival continues through the morning, with chants and prayers filling the air. These stories connect Livia to her ancestors, reminding her of their devotion. The Romans believe that these tales keep their culture alive, ensuring their lives remain in balance with the divine. Livia feels a sense of belonging, knowing she is part of a community bound by shared faith. The priests speak of Rome's history, of times when the flame flickered and the Vestals faced trials to keep it burning. They tell of how the Romans came together, offering prayers to Vesta to restore the city's strength. Livia listens, her heart filled with admiration for her people's resilience. She imagines standing with her ancestors, sharing their prayers and hope. The festival is a reminder that the Romans are never alone, that their community is a source of strength. Marcia tells her that the prayers she offers today will guide her through life, teaching her to serve with gratitude and devotion. As the festival draws to a close, the Romans gather in a final prayer, their voices rising in a chant of gratitude. Livia joins in, her voice steady, feeling the strength of her people around her. The priest blesses the crowd, sprinkling water over them, a gesture of protection and renewal. Marcia smiles, telling Livia that the festival will stay with her, shaping her understanding of her role in Rome. Livia feels a deep connection to her people, knowing this moment is a step toward honoring their traditions. The walk back to the temple is quiet, with the Vestals moving together, their hearts full of the chants and prayers shared. After the festival, Livia returns to her duties in the Temple of Vesta. But today, Marcia takes her to the Forum, where Romans gather to worship and govern. The Romans call the Forum the heart of their republic, a place where faith and civic duty intertwine. Livia helps prepare offerings for a ritual, her hands steady as she carries mola salsa to the Forum's altar. The space is alive with activity, with priests chanting and citizens offering prayers. Livia feels a sense of purpose, knowing her work connects the temple to the city. Marcia teaches her to perform a ritual for Jupiter, ensuring the Republic's prosperity. Marcia explains that serving in the temple is a sacred duty, honoring the gods who protect the city. Livia listens, feeling a spark of wonder at the connection between her rituals and Rome's future. The priest speaks of the gods who guard the Republic. From Vesta to Janus, Livia feels a sense of pride, realizing her work is part of a larger network that sustains Rome's faith. Marcia teaches her to respect the priests, valuing their wisdom and the prayers they offer. The Romans believe that every ritual strengthens their city, building bonds between temple and forum. Livia takes these lessons to heart, seeing her role as part of a larger cycle. The Vestals return to the temple, where Livia helps Aemilia tend the fire. Marcia joins them, bringing stories of past rituals. Livia watches as Aemilia prepares incense, her movements precise. Marcia tells of a time when a storm threatened the temple's flame, but the Vestals worked together to protect it, showing their resilience. Livia listens, her heart filled with admiration for her predecessor's strength. The Romans' way of life is a cycle, like the flames glow, and Livia feels woven into it. Marcia teaches Livia to offer incense at the temple's altar, a gesture of gratitude for Vesta's protection. She learns that each offering is a connection to the past, a reminder of Rome's history. The Romans honor their gods with prayers, ensuring their city's strength. Livia helps Marcia prepare an offering, learning a prayer for the flame's endurance. The prayer is a promise to care for the temple, ensuring its sanctity. Livia feels proud to be part of this tradition, knowing her work sustains her city. The day ends with the Vestals sharing a meal of bread and olives. Livia thinks of the Forum, its sacred rituals, and the flame that burns for Rome. She feels grateful for the temple, the gods, and the knowledge passed down to her. The Romans' way of life is a cycle, like the seasons, and Livia feels woven into it, She imagines the festival of Vesta, the chants, and the unity of her people, knowing her work continues those traditions. As she rests, her heart is full, ready to learn more about the rituals that protect Rome. In the evening, Livia sits by the temple's hearth, watching the sacred flame flicker softly. She thinks about the stories and traditions of her people who have built Rome's spiritual heart through centuries of devotion. The Romans' culture is rich with wisdom, from their temples to their festivals. Imagine standing with Livia, feeling the warmth of the flame. You can explore this world, further visit a museum of Roman history, read a book about their religion, or study the Vestal virgins who guarded their city. Each step you take to learn more brings you closer to their story, a story that continues to inspire. Livia reflects on the festival of Vesta, the temple, and the teachings of Marcia and Aemilia. She knows that the Romans' traditions are a gift, passed down through generations, keeping their faith alive. She thinks of the flame she tends, its glow, a connection to Rome's future. Livia feels pride, knowing she will carry these traditions forward. She imagines teaching others one day, sharing the skills and stories that have shaped her life. The Romans' way of life is a cycle, like the seasons, and Livia feels part of it. Livia thinks of the chants she heard at the festival, the voices of her people rising together. She recalls the priests' prayers, the offerings to Vesta, and the stories of Rome's past. These moments are sacred, a reminder of the Roman strength and resilience. Livia knows her people have faced challenges, storms, wars, but they have always thrived. She feels grateful for the knowledge passed down to her, the lessons that teach her to serve in harmony with the divine. Livia returns to the temple's hearth, ready to learn more, knowing her people's traditions will endure, carried by the chants and stories of her community. Livia stands in the temple of Vesta, the sacred fire flickering softly in the hearth. The Romans hold this flame as the heart of their republic, a symbol of their bond with the gods. Today, a sudden wind has swept through the temple, threatening to dim the flame. Livia moves quickly, her hands steady as she shields the embers with a clay cover. The Romans believe every challenge is a test of their devotion, a chance to honor Vesta. Livia feels a spark of determination, eager to protect the flame and ensure Rome's safety. Marcia, her mentor, explains that the wind's threat requires careful tending to restore the fire's strength. They must add sacred wood and offer prayers to Vesta, ensuring the flame endures. Livia helps, her hands gentle as she places logs on the hearth, learning to balance the fire's needs. The Romans' rituals are a balance of care and reverence, and Livia feels the weight of her role. Marcia teaches her to chant a prayer for the flame's endurance, a skill that will safeguard the temple through adversity. The Vestals share stories of past trials, of times when the flame flickered, yet their devotion kept it alive. A younger Vestal, Aemilia, tells Livia of a storm that once threatened the temple, but the Vestals worked together to protect the fire. The Roman strength lies in their unity, a lesson Livia takes to heart. She helps Aemilia prepare incense, learning to trust her instincts and work as part of a team. The temple is more than a sanctuary. It is a symbol of Rome's ability to endure hardship. Marcia speaks with a priest from the Temple of Jupiter, sharing offerings to strengthen Rome's divine bonds. Livia listens, realizing that every task, from tending the flame to offering mola salsa, is a thread in Rome's spiritual tapestry. The Romans believe their community thrives through mutual devotion. Marcia shares a prayer with the Vestals, a request for Vesta to protect their work. Livia joins in, her voice blending with theirs, feeling the unity of their shared purpose. The prayer is a promise to care for the temple, ensuring its sanctity. Marcia tells Livia of a time when a Vestal neglected her duty, endangering the flame and Rome's prosperity. The Romans came together, offering prayers and restoring the fire, proving their resilience. Livia listens, her heart filled with admiration for her predecessor's strength. She imagines herself standing with those Vestals, facing their trials and renewing their faith. The Romans' way of life is a cycle of devotion and renewal, and Livia feels woven into it. The day ends with the Vestals restoring the flame, its glow steady once more. Livia helps place the final log, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Amelia shares a meal of bread and olives with the Vestals, their quiet conversation a reminder of their bond. Livia thinks of the threatened flame, now revived, and the lessons she has learned. The Romans' religion is a testament to their determination, a legacy that will endure. She rests, her heart steady, ready to continue her duties, knowing each challenge strengthens Rome. The Temple of Vesta prepares for a major ritual, a ceremony to honor Vesta and renew Rome's divine protection. The Romans believe these rituals are sacred, ensuring the Republic's harmony with the gods. Livia stands by the hearth, helping Marcia prepare mola salsa for the offering. The air is warm, the temple filled with the scent of grain and incense. Livia feels a spark of anticipation, knowing this ceremony will unite the Romans in devotion. Marcia directs the Vestals, her voice calm but firm, ensuring every offering is prepared with care. Livia helps mix the sacred cakes, learning to blend grain and salt precisely. The Romans' rituals are a marvel, turning simple ingredients into offerings that connect them to the divine. Marcia explains that this ceremony is more than a ritual. It is a celebration of Rome's faith and unity. Livia feels proud, knowing her work strengthens the Republic. She watches as the Vestals arrange the altar, their faces reflecting reverence and purpose. The ceremony begins, and the Vestals chant prayers to Vesta, their voices rising in a melody of gratitude. Livia joins in, her heart lifted by the harmony. The Romans believe that chants bind their community, strengthening their connection to the gods. She helps offer mola salsa, ensuring it is presented with care. The Vestals share stories of past ceremonies, of times when their prayers brought prosperity to Rome. Livia listens, feeling a connection to her people's history. Amelia arrives, bringing incense to enhance the ritual's sanctity. She joins the Vestals in a prayer, thanking Vesta for her protection. Livia repeats the words, feeling their meaning deep within her. The prayer is a promise to honor the goddess and the Republic, to serve with devotion. The Romans' traditions are a living thread, connecting their rituals to their gods. Livia feels a sense of unity, knowing this moment binds the Vestals, their priests, and their city. The ceremony is a symbol of their shared faith. Marcia tells Livia of a time when Rome faced a crisis, and the Vestals' rituals restored the city's harmony. Their success came through persistence and faith, lessons that guide the ceremony today. Livia listens, her heart filled with admiration for her ancestors' resilience. She imagines the flame reaching every corner of Rome, protecting its people as their ancestors did. The Romans' way of life is a cycle of prayer and devotion, and Livia feels part of it, her work a continuation of their legacy. The day ends with the Vestals gathered by the hearth, sharing a meal of bread and wine. Livia thinks of the ceremony, its sacred chants, and the temple that sustains Rome. She feels grateful for the lessons of Marcia and Amelia, the support of her fellow Vestals, and the unity of her people. The Romans' religion is a gift, one that will endure through time. Livia rests, her heart full, ready to continue her duties, knowing the ritual's promise is a testament to Rome's strength. One evening, Livia visits the Forum, where priests and citizens gather to share news and stories. The Romans see the Forum as the heart of their republic, a place where faith and civic life meet. Livia sits with Marcia, who shares tales of past Vestals. Marcia's voice is warm and steady, filling Livia's heart with pride. She feels a spark of curiosity, eager to learn more about the temple that shapes her life as a Vestal. Marcia tells the story of Rhea Silvia, a legendary Vestal and mother of Romulus, who founded Rome. She speaks of early Vestals who guarded the flame through centuries, their efforts laying the foundation for the Republic. The Romans believe their history is a guide, teaching them to serve with wisdom and care. Marcia explains that the Forum has been a place of worship for generations, where Romans pray and honor their gods. Livia listens, feeling a connection to her ancestors, whose devotion made her duties possible. Livia asks Marcia about the Vestals of the past, and the elder tells of a time when a fire threatened the temple, yet the Vestals restored it through unity. The story is a lesson in resilience, showing that challenges are met with faith. Marcia shares tales of Vestals who faced trials, like wars that tested Rome, but their prayers ensured the city's strength. The Romans' devotion lies in their community, a truth Livia feels in her work in the temple. She imagines standing with those early Vestals, sharing their prayers. Emilia joins Livia, listening to Marcia's tales. She shares a story of her own, of how her mother taught her to respect the gods, honoring Rome's traditions. The Romans believe that every story is a thread, connecting the past to the present. Marcia teaches Livia a prayer for the Forum, a request for the gods to bless the city's heart. Livia repeats the words, feeling their meaning deep within her. The prayer is a gesture of gratitude, a way to honor the ancestors who served Vesta. Marcia speaks of a time when Rome faced a plague, and the Vestals offered prayers to restore the city's health. Their unity saved the Republic, proving their strength lies in their faith. Livia listens, her heart filled with admiration for her ancestors' resilience. She imagines her prayers reaching Rome, protecting its people as their ancestors did. The Romans' way of life is a cycle, like the seasons, and Livia feels part of it. Her work, a continuation of their legacy. Livia and Emilia return to the temple, their minds filled with Marcia's stories. They share a meal, talking of the Forum and the history it holds. Livia thinks of Rhea, Silvia, the Vestals, and the prayers that guide Rome. The Forum is a place of connection, where Romans come together to build their future. Livia feels grateful for the knowledge she has gained, the lessons that teach her to serve with pride and purpose. She rests, her heart steady, ready to return to the temple, knowing her work carries forward the stories of her people. Years later, Livia is a seasoned Vestal, her duties in the Temple of Vesta a source of pride. She now guides younger Vestals, teaching them the skills she learned from Marcia and Emilia. The Romans continue to thrive, the Republic strengthened by the flame that burns in Vesta's temple. Livia tends the hearth, her hands steady as she adds sacred wood. She shows a young Vestal, Julia, how to prepare mola salsa, passing down the traditions that have shaped her life. Livia teaches Julia the story of Vesta, the goddess who protects Rome, explaining how her festival unites the people. She shares the importance of offering incense at the altar, a gesture of gratitude for the flame's endurance. Julia listens, her eyes bright with curiosity, and Livia feels a sense of pride in passing on these lessons. She teaches a prayer for the temple, a request for the gods to guide their work. The Romans' traditions are a living thing, carried forward by each generation, and Livia feels honored to be part of this cycle. Livia visits the Forum, where she once listened to Marcia's stories. The Romans still gather there, their voices rising in prayers and plans. Livia shares tales of the Temple of Vesta, of rituals that protected Rome through trials. The younger Vestals listen, learning the history that guides their work. Livia sees the strength of her community in the Forum, where decisions are made with wisdom, ensuring Rome's prosperity. The Romans adapt to new challenges, offering new prayers while holding fast to their traditions. Livia teaches Julia to tend the sacred fire, showing her how to balance its flame. She explains that the fire is Rome's heart, sustaining its people. Julia helps prepare an offering, learning the value of precision. Livia feels a deep connection to her ancestors, knowing their wisdom lives on in her work. The Romans' legacy is not just in their stories, but in their daily actions, in the way they serve and care for each other. Livia knows her mentoring ensures the temple's traditions endure. Livia thinks of the festival of Vesta, the priests, and the stories of the Forum. She remembers the prayers she offered, the flame she tended, and the unity of her people. The Romans' culture lives on in their temples, their rituals, and the voices of their Vestals. Livia knows that Julia will carry these traditions forward, just as she has done. She visits the temple's hearth, where she once sat with Marcia, and thinks of the stories that have shaped her life. The Romans' resilience is a source of pride, a reminder that their republic is strong enough to face any challenge. Livia sings a prayer for the flame, her voice soft in the quiet evening. Knowing that Rome's legacy will endure, carried by the Vestals who follow her, she feels grateful for Marcia's teachings, the lessons of faith and community, and the chants that guide her people. The Romans' temples are a testament to their strength, a gift that burns through time. Livia rests, her heart full, knowing her work has helped preserve Rome's legacy. Livia, now older, stands by the temple of Vesta's hearth, watching the sacred flame glow under the starlit sky. The night is quiet, the crackle of the fire, a gentle reminder of her life's work. Livia holds a pinch of mola salsa, its texture, a symbol of the labor and devotion that have protected Rome. The Romans have built a republic that thrives on faith, community, and the traditions that bind them. And Livia feels the depth of this legacy, a thread woven through her years as a Vestal. Livia reflects on the journey that shaped her from the mornings spent tending the flame with Marcia to the festival of Vesta, where she offered prayers for Rome's safety. She recalls the wind that threatened the fire, restored through resilience, and the stories of Rhea Silvia shared in the Forum. Each moment is a piece of Rome, a republic sustained by the hands of its priests, Vestals, and citizens. The Romans' way of life is a cycle, like the flame's glow, and Livia knows she has played her part, tending the fire and mentoring Vestals like Julia to carry the traditions forward. The flame, with its steady warmth, is a symbol of Rome's strength. Livia remembers the challenges her people faced, storms, wars, and doubts, but they always persevered, united by their shared faith. She thinks of the prayers she offered to Vesta, the chants she sang with her fellow Vestals, and the bonds she forged across the Republic. These moments are the heart of Rome, a city built not just on stone, but on the spirit of its people. Livia feels a deep gratitude for the lessons of Marcia Amelia and her community, whose wisdom guided her to serve with care and devotion. The Romans' legacy is a river flowing through time, carrying their faith to future generations. Livia imagines Julia standing by this same hearth one day, teaching others to tend the flame with reverence. She sees Rome growing, its temples filled with prayers, its people protected by the gods she served. The Romans' culture is a gift, enduring in their rituals, their festivals, and the stories of their vestals. Livia knows her work has helped preserve this legacy, ensuring Rome's heart continues to thrive. As you rest tonight, let the flame of Rome linger in your mind. The story of Livia and her temple is a window into a world of devotion and resilience. You can honor this legacy by exploring Roman history. Visit a museum to learn about their religion, read about the Vestal Virgins, or share their stories with others. Each step brings you closer to the Romans' world, a world that inspires through its enduring faith. Livia thinks of the flame she has tended, the prayers she has offered, and the republic that binds her people. Let this story carry you to a peaceful sleep, a gentle reminder of the connections that burn through time. As the stars shine over Rome, Livia stands by the temple of Vesta, the sacred flame casting a gentle glow across the hearth. The night wraps the city in stillness, the hum of priests and the chant of prayers, now a distant memory. Livia holds a small clay vessel, once used to carry molla salsa. Its weight, a reminder of the devotion and dreams that have guarded Rome. The Romans have built a republic that thrives on faith, community, and the rituals that bind them. And Livia feels the depth of this legacy, a thread woven through her years as a Vestal Virgin. Livia reflects on the journey that shaped her from the mornings spent preparing offerings with Marcia to the festival of Vesta, where she chanted prayers for the city's safety. She recalls the wind that tested the flame, restored through her care, and the stories of Rhea Silvia shared by the forum's elders. Each moment is a piece of Rome, a city sustained by the hands of its priests, vestals, and citizens. The Romans' way of life is a cycle, like the fire's glow, and Livia knows she has played her part, tending the flame and mentoring younger vestals like Julia to carry the traditions forward. The temple, with its eternal flame, is a symbol of Rome's resilience. Livia remembers the challenges her people faced, storms, doubts, and trials, but they always persevered, united by their shared devotion. She thinks of the prayers she offered to Vesta, the chants she sang with her fellow Vestals, and the bonds she forged with Rome's people. These moments are the heart of Rome, a republic built not just on faith, but on the spirit of its community. Livia feels a deep gratitude for the lessons of Marcia Amelia and her fellow Vestals, whose wisdom guided her to serve with reverence and purpose. The Romans' legacy is a flame, burning through time, carrying their faith to future generations. Livia imagines Julia standing by this same hearth one day, teaching others to tend the fire with care. She sees Rome enduring, its temples alive with prayers, its people protected by the gods she served. The Romans' culture is a gift, enduring in their rituals, their festivals, and the devotion of their vestals. Livia knows her work has helped preserve this legacy, ensuring Rome's heart continues to burn brightly. As you rest tonight, let the glow of Rome linger in your mind. The story of Livia and her temple is a window into a world of faith and resilience. You can honor this legacy by exploring Roman history, visit a museum to see their sacred artifacts, read about their religious traditions, or share their stories with others. Each step brings you closer to the Romans world, a world that inspires through its enduring devotion. Livia thinks of the flame she has tended, the prayers she has offered, and the city that binds her people. Let this story carry you to a peaceful sleep, a gentle reminder of the connections that shine through time. As the story fades into the quiet of the night, we hope its echoes linger, carrying you toward rest and reflection. At Sleepy Story, we weave tales of ancient worlds to soothe your mind and honor the past. From the temples of Rome to the traditions of distant lands, each narrative is a thread in the tapestry of history, a reminder of the resilience and wisdom that shape our shared human story. We invite you to carry this piece with you, letting it guide you into a gentle sleep. The lives you've heard tonight, whether of vestals tending sacred flames or farmers nurturing fields, are a window into the strength of those who came before us. Their stories live on, not just in these tales, but in the history that surrounds us. We encourage you to explore this world, further visit a museum, read a book about ancient cultures, or share these stories with others. By subscribing to Sleepy Story, you can join us for more journeys through time, each one crafted to educate and calm, a gift for your evenings and dreams. Thank you for listening to Sleepy Story, for letting us guide you through the past with tales that comfort and inspire. Our channel is here to be your companion, offering new stories to lull you into rest night after night. Subscribe to stay with us, to discover more about the people and places that shaped history, and to find tranquility in their legacy. As you close your eyes, let the rhythm of these stories, like a gentle river, carry you forward. The past is always with us, its lessons a quiet light in the darkness. Good night from Sleepy Story, and may your dreams be filled with the echoes of history, guiding you to a peaceful rest.